Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing. And thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. Now, the video has gone viral with dancehall artist Demarco, who was at a Bounty Killers show that Bounty Killer was booked to perform at in Canada. DeMarco went on stage, bolted on stage, was not booked for the show. He went out there and he did one song. And during what seemed to be like a dead air where Bounty Killer wasn't saying anything or he was talking to someone else or a bandsman, DeMarco decided to ask the bandsman for the Punani rhythm. And Bounty Killer to his mic and said, DeMarco, no, no, no. He ignored DeMarco and he went on to his performance and stuff. And it was basically a very embarrassing moment for DeMarco, someone of his status in dancehall. He's a very good producer. He produced Charlie Black's biggest song, Party Animal. That was a clear hit. He went on the Billboard chart and stuff like that. So, DeMarco has made a name for himself in dancehall as a producer and also a dancehall artist, but he has been doing more, or maybe have seen more success as a producer than a dancehall artist, of which he made his name. Now, DeMarco came around Bounty Killer and was around Bounty Killer during, the inception of his career, where started out making a name for himself. He was in the camp. There was some sort of breakaway because DeMarco, decided to lighten his skin, bleach his hair, and all of that. And he was, doing some songs and recording for Freaky Girls and stuff like that. And it wasn't to what the Alliance, Bounty Killer and the Alliance emblem is all about and their fundamentals of what they stood for. And so it was kind of like a breakaway at the time. I'm sorry, guys, if you're a glitch in the audio. I'm recording, doing an editing while recording this video. So I do apologize if there is any glitch or stoppage in the audio or slowed motion in the audio. I'm sorry. Back to my argument. And so it did not sit well with the Alliance, and DeMarco decided to do his own thing, be his own individual. He decided to invest heavily in his studio equipment for video shoots, for editing, for recording, all of that. He moved to the US and has been there for many years, but he still, still has his name circulating in the local space as a producer, and has been working with many artists, including Charlie Black, Spice, and so forth. Now, DeMarco DeMarco did his explanation. He gave a whole explanation as to what really took place. And, he was going saying that he was booked for another show. And he decided that Bounty Killer is there in town performing. He's going to go there to support him and stuff. I am not sure why there's nothing that I can add or take away as to what could provoke DeMarco to go on stage during Bounty Killer set after he spoke of an experience that he had with Bounty Killer many years ago when he was around him and he hailed him, and they were good at one show, and then the following day was at Weddy and he went there with his entourage and hailing Bounty Killer, going over there to boom fists or thumbs up and stuff, and Bounty Killer did not acknowledge him. And so back years later, he's in the same predicament. But I'm not sure why DeMarco is actually surprised. But here's the thing. DeMarco many years ago, I am not sure if it was the incident with Conscience and the producer by the name of K-Swiss who had assaulted him years ago. And, it was about to explode of some sort of violence in dancehall, and Conscience called for peace. Or was it the Devin the Doctor situation with Corey Todd, when Devin the Doctor was assaulted outside of the Taboo nightclub by Corey Todd and his police group, or his entourage, his security team, I should say. DeMarco was on an interview, and DeMarco said that certain things could not reach him because he doesn't stray. You understand? So what reached certain artists would never reach him. And so it's very ironic to see that he didn't even go that far, much less to stray, but yet he ended up in a very embarrassing situation. Similar, no, it's not an assault like what happened with Conscience, or with Devin the Doctor. However, an embarrassing situation is an embarrassing situation. Several vloggers have spoken on it. I'm not sure why Demarco is upset with the vloggers and calling them dirty vloggers and stuff like that. They saw something. Vloggers are in business because they want to make money, I guess. They want a viral moment. They want traction and stuff like that. So they're going to speak on it. I'm not sure who was speaking, disrespecting Demarco. I didn't see any vlogger as yet coming out, so I'm not sure what he's seeing from his side, so I won't judge him. But whoever it is that was disrespecting him, that's their thing. Maybe that's them he's directing his insult or disrespect to. However, from my neck of the woods, I did not see any vlogger disrespecting Demarco. They were only reposting the video and making their comments on it. But the thing is, Demarco, you know who Bounty Killer was and is all along. And it's his behavior and his character is not about to change. But you see what happens when you over-respect a person. You see what happens when you aren't in the business of carving a lane and making a name for yourself, but you rather be the come-up guy or the person who is there under the umbrella or the linkage of someone else. This is what happens to you. You are going to over respect a person. You're going to over reverence them, where they can embarrass you, they can disrespect you at any scene, and you will come out and you will make excuses. You will give a long-winded explanation, and then you will turn around and make excuses for bad behavior. And many persons, including Mr. Vegas, have come out and have made reference to Alkaline and saying this is the reason Alkaline carve a lane for himself or stay in his own lane, or the song that TJ make refer to me own lane, so no guy can style me. It's the same thing that Alkaline have done over the years since he started in dancehall. He is in a lane with himself, by himself. And so so many persons have made comments that Alkaline should get a box like what Silk Boss get. Alkaline should get a bottle in his head. Alkaline should get beat up. Alkaline should be disrespected, and they record it. So many persons have wished that on Alkaline, and it's their favorite artist who is getting it. Their favorite artists are the ones who are being embarrassed, who are being disrespected constantly all over social media, because you are not going to catch Alkaline lacking. Like I said, his crowd is very exclusive. His team is exclusive. I'm thinking going in his space, like I said in another video, people have to sign NDA. I'm thinking it's that deep, because he's not going to put himself in any predicament where you can get a one-up on him, where you can get a moment to embarrass him, you can get a moment to publicly shame him, and all of that. The most you can do is through speculation, through mere comments. That's the most you can do. And call him names and call him all sorts of names outside of the box, disrespectful on social media. That's the most you can do. But you're not going to catch him lacking anywhere or catch him in a situation wherein you can bring shame and embarrassment and public humiliation to the artist. Notice he has his own festival, and he has his particular artist that he books or put on the show to perform. Everything about him is exclusive, and that's the reason many persons support Alkaline. That's the mere reason, many persons are there and they stand behind him, including myself, because we like to see what happens when persons who are victim of bully decide to take a stand. And this is who Alkaline is. Obviously, he's telling the world he's nobody's victim, he's nobody's pet, he's nobody's puppet. And he's going to stand 10 toes down. And if you come at him, he's going to come at you time tenfold. And he stays in his corner, he stays in his lane. He managed to keep himself as a column and as a giant in dancehall. And if many artists, including you, Mr. Demarco, if you had took a page out of Alkaline book, this particular situation could have easily been avoided. But you see, that's what happens when a lot of men talk tough, but they're not about a tough walk. When a lot of men are soldiers, but they're soldiers on soft soil. They're sand soldiers. You understand? They're not rock solid foot soldiers. This is what happens. You end up wearing, like I said, you're over-respecting people, over-reverencing people. You are paying homage constantly, all the time, all day, every day. You don't want to pass your limit. You set markations on your own self, limitations on your own self. You believe that everything that person says is absolutely true. You understand? Their comment, their response, their fundamental is the absolute. fundamentals, and you never dare disagree with them. And if you're even going to, you're certainly not going to do it in public because you overly respect these individuals. And so they can easily get the opportunity to humiliate you and disrespect you. Bounty Killer could have easily do a 2 minute with Demarco. It was nothing difficult for him to do a 2 minute with Demarco on stage and say, thank you for your support. Thank you, because clearly Demarco came on there to give him some sort of support. No, you did not ask for it, but there's something called gratitude. There's something called being grateful. There's something called showing respect then. But obviously, this is a Bounty Killer is an individual who believe that no amount of respect is ever enough. And who else do you know behave like that in social media, in dancehall, and in entertainment? No amount of loyalty is ever enough. No amount of respect is ever enough. They crave and hunger for adornment, aggrandizement. They crave and hunt for heavy attention all day, every day on them, and they're always right and they're always true. You understand? And so this is a learning lesson. And I know he's not going to learn from it, because these people, like I say, they talk tough, but they're not about that life. They're really soft cookies. They're soft cookies. I care zero what you guys say to big up this, big up that. We ain't over respecting anybody here. We see things for what it is, and that's exactly what we're calling it. You guys are softies. You guys are softies, and that's why a lot of women are not turned on. A lot of women are not taken by you men, because when they look at you, they do not see militancy. They see someone who talk tough all day, every day, because that's what you're going to do. But deep down behind, you guys are soft cookies. You understand? And that's what's happening out here, because if you stand by yourself and in your lane, Bounty Killer would never get the opportunity to disrespect you like that. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day. God bless you. Bye-bye.